Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a 500-point Middle-earth strategy battle game. Myself and OT are going to be running you through this battle. So we've got Ents versus the alliance of Army of Thror and Dale. I'm piloting the Ents, and OT is piloting the Dwarves and Men of Dale. We're going to run through army lists very quickly, but just before that, we're just going to quickly say this is going to be slightly different from the battle reports that have been up on the channel, just because we filmed this at a club night. So we've come back and we are doing the audio in post. So we might refer to this in the past tense and refer to what's about to happen. We aren't clairvoyant. We just already did this. OT, do you want to take us through the army that you brought today?
So this is the first outing for my brand new list. My first ever Hobbit army. It was Thror with 9 Kingsguard and 7 Warriors of Erebor with Spear and Shield. And then the alliance is Girion with his great bow and 5 Warriors of Dale with bow and spear, with 8 Warriors of Dale with shield and spear.
And then the Ents, it's a pretty normal 500-point list. I don't really think anyone builds a 500-point list any differently. It's Treebeard with Merry and Pippin, Quickbeam, and Beachbone, and that is 500 points on the nose. So everyone takes
ideal.
That.
Everybody wins.
It is ideal. We rolled up then, so we did the you roll 3 and veto system. So what we rolled was
Lords of Battle, Heirlooms of Ages Past, and Breakthrough.
OT had first veto, so he vetoed Lords of Battle, which was not unexpected. I was left with Breakthrough and the other one,
Heirlooms.
I chose Breakthrough partly because Heirlooms has already been on the channel, and also I played it quite recently against Mare myself, and also just because neither of us massively like Heirlooms. So I wasn't massively sure that Breakthrough really favoured me, but I ended up choosing that one.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we've got our deployment. So OT deployed first. So what was your thoughts here?
I didn't really know. I had 2 disadvantages here because I had fewer drops, because each of your Ents are an individual drop, so you could be much more reactive if you wanted to be. And I had to deploy first, so you were going to get to deploy 2 of your Ents after I was done doing anything. So I think my idea with the deployment here was just to try and give myself like a bit of flexibility. There was no real deep tactical plan at this point. I had a general idea for what I wanted to do, but yeah, I just wanted my shooting to have decent lines of sight and be fairly close to the objectives later in the game.
Yeah, my thinking was I deployed Quickbeam first. I pretty much always deploy him first if I can with the Ent Force, just because he has a bigger move, so he could be slightly more reactive. And then as soon as you put the dwarfs over on the opposite flank, I just deployed my entire army, just because I was kind of thinking, if I can knock out kind of some of your force without the dwarfs being able to kind of run over as quickly because of their stubby little legs, that would just potentially advantage me a little bit. That was my thinking there. So jumping in then to the first turn. The first turn saw the shield wall just kind of pivot.
Yeah.
And the Ents just kind of moved up behind a wall, and not really anything happens there.
No.
Beyond that, you'd moved the Warriors of Dale, so no shooting. The second turn, however,
this is where it all went down.
So what happened is you can see that the Ents are positioned by the wall there. We started the shooting phase. We were kind of like, we don't need to record this.
Nothing's going to happen.
Immediately with the first shot of the game, Girion wounds. So we quickly jumped on the camera. So what you are currently watching is, the rolls for Girion after that. So
Yeah.
Girion was just a machine in hitting.
Yeah.
But fortunately for me, he did not manage to wound Treebeard after that. So he was hitting, he was getting past Beachbone with the in the way rolls, we can see, but he just didn't get any other wounds. But Treebeard let that go through. I didn't spend the fate at this point just because I wanted to keep hold of them and my might points for later use. The Ents though was still like a good 2 turns out of charge range, which wasn't ideal.
No.
Fair to say with all of that fairly high strength shooting.
Yeah. I mean that's strength 4 bow from Girion. Like it was so impactful in this matchup because like he did inflict a high proportion of my wounds in this game with his shooting, and definitely a fan having used him for only 1 game.
Turn 3, roll for priority. I got a 2, OT got a 3.
Not ideal. Not what I wanted at this point.
About bloody time because I'd won priority 2 turns.
2 times in a row. Yeah.
Not really wanting it. Ents move forward. This time we fill the shooting phase.
And nothing happened.
So I hope the viewers enjoy this elite footage of
some dice rolling.
Rolling some dice. I want to just point out how many times you rolled a 6 to hit.
Yes. They were coming in the wrong order, wasn't it? It was almost always 6 then 3 rather than 3 then 6. Yeah. But no, it was good.
So as we can see from this though, one of the regular shots, you were aiming at Treebeard.
Yep. But those in the ways
hit Beachbone, 6 by 4, it wounded him. I let it go through.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was thinking, shit.
Fuck. Yeah. Your face was a bit salty at this point. Because I'd high rolled.
You'd wounded Treebeard and Beachbone, who no disrespect to Quick Beam, are slightly more intimidating because they can strike and they're already fight 8.
Yeah.
So not ideal. And that's just from the regular old shooting. So poor Beachbone there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Turn 4, Ents got priority this time. I was able to now charge in to the Dale, and the dwarfs were unable to make the charge. What ended up happening was Girion got trapped. You'd accidentally trapped him up against the wall.
That was a low IQ move.
He was unable to move. He wasn't in combat, but you didn't choose to call any heroics. And it did come back to bite Girion. So if we have a look, we've got a little bit of shooting going on.
Yeah.
So
this was a pretty brutal turn as well.
We can see the rolls for the throwing axes onto Treebeard, because although I was out of range of charging, you were able to yeet in all of the throwing axes. Some big hits.
Yeah.
And let's see the to wound roll. Oh
no!
Treebeard was wounded again. First fate. Oh, 1.
Oh dear.
I chose not to use every might point.
Yeah.
I decided to use my second point of fate.
Yeah.
A 2. oh, good. And just an FYI, it wasn't recorded, but Treebeard had used a point of fate earlier. So Treebeard had just let another go through. Was now on 1 wound, 0 fate. Big Eve.
This was like turn 4, wasn't it, or something? And just brutal.
I was kind of thinking at this point that there was going to be no hope. Treebeard's wounded. We now jump into the combats. Beachbone barges, pushes them out of the way. Get gone. And he charges into Girion.
Yeah.
And of course, Girion is just screwed.
I should have struck up. It was I don't know. Anyway,
it was a difficult call for you because
Yeah.
You had to call first.
Yeah.
So you said, I'm not going to do anything. And then I
You
just
just passed.
I'm just not going to do anything. Now, obviously, in a normal game, I would have had to combat, but because I've got heroes, I can barge.
Yeah.
So it was tricky because obviously, if you called strike, I just
just wouldn't have gone in, and I've wasted a might point.
And
But
you've
I
wasted
think
a might point.
I think in hindsight, obviously hindsight's a beautiful thing, especially when you're recording this the day after. But I think striking would have been the best bet because it as we'll see in a second.
Possibly.
Big oof.
Potential oof. Beachbone versus Girion. Let's see how they get on. So they are going to fight. Beachbone rolls 2 5s and a 6. It's a very decent roll.
There were some hot sixes this game from the Ents as well. Those. If you're struggling in your games, whack out a set of the GW dice. Is all I'm saying.
I got a 6, a 3, and a 2 there. And I decide to might the 2 just to instant kill him.
Yeah, not a hope.
Just get rid of him.
Yeah.
My thinking there was he's still got might left on him. It's worth
and I would have burned.
Yeah, it's worth spending 1 might to take away your opponent's ability to use 2. That's my rough thinking there.
I think it's the right call.
Priority, you get a 6. You actually heroic move with Thror, didn't you?
I did.
In order to charge Treebeard.
Yep.
Do you regret it?
Yes.
In hindsight? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize, until the later game that actually I should just have been saving all of Thror's might for those fate points. I think anything before then wasn't super relevant.
I think from my perspective, it was more a case of I was going to have to charge you with Treebeard.
Yeah.
Because I needed to get into combat to stop you shooting him. And if I'd moved forward, you could have then surrounded me.
It's true.
So if you hadn't moved, you'd have left me in a difficult position of if I don't move forward, you just throwing axe and kill Treebeard, or if I move forward, you surround him. But I think you were more concerned about Beachbone and Quickbeam.
Yes, because they were running rampant at this point, and there was nothing I could really do.
Yeah. So the dwarf line moved forward. There was a bit of stalling on Beachbone. Thror moves in to take on Treebeard in the hopes that because he's low fate, you can get a cheeky win in the fight. We move straight on from the shoots to the fight phase then. So we both called a strike. Well, you called it first. I didn't need to. I struck. We both made 10 easily. And then in our roll-off, as we can see, we both got a 5.
Yeah.
So it was like.
But then my additional attacks came in. I think, didn't they? Did I end up on a 6? Yeah.
And then the another 5 from the Grimhammer, but
beautiful
the plucky dwarf warrior with spear. Got the 6. So I had to burn another point of might. So that was 2 from Treebeard.
You were really burning resources at this point. I think at this point in the game, I was like, "Oh, this is I'm ahead in resources here."
Oh, you definitely weren't ahead. Quickbeam had 3, Beachbone had 2.
It's true.
I'd started with more. You definitely made Treebeard burn his resources.
Yeah.
At this point, then it fell to me. We had a quick chat about who was evil and decided the dwarves were evil, and then the dwarves won. Just to remind the viewers, Treebeard is on 1 wound, 0 fate. Let's see
how this goes there.
Do in wounding him. Here come the dice rolls. So Thror. He rolls 2 2s and a 1.
2s and a 1. And then
the Grimhammer.
Needing a 6.
6 to kill Treebeard. Gets a 4. And then the spears get a 3 and a 2. And so Treebeard miraculously survives. The rest of the combat we didn't film. It was basically beach boating,
just running over some dwarves,
obliterating a single dwarf and Warrior Dale. If you're wondering, viewer, why I wasn't doing more combats and stuff like that to try and kill more, I was actually trying not to break OT's army
until the optimum moment.
But yeah, at this point, I was kind of like, you had managed to grab, as we see at the beginning of the next turn. You had now, on my home objective, got 5 dwarves. They had been running all of this time across the board. So
you say running, a gentle stroll,
slowly, just meandering across the cobblestones of this town. The Ents, therefore, were not trying to kill the dwarves that urgently. Really, I was trying to take on Thror was my main concern. The Dale had pulled back. You were kind of waiting for me to kill the models in the middle to then
sacrificial lambs. Yeah.
So the middle is now very sparse, and I think it really favoured the Ents. I decided, because I called a move, and you only had 1 might left, so you didn't, to charge Thror with Beachbone. Beachbone at this point had more might, and he had a fate point. So I decided to have him fight Thror rather than Treebeard, and move Treebeard onto some easier targets. So we have Beachbone's fight.
I mean, the most of the Ent fights are fairly predictable.
Beachbone got 2 3s and a 1, as we can see.
Yeah.
And so
didn't matter.
Did manage to wound. You got a 6 by 4.
Yeah, pretty clutch.
I decided to spend my fate point, and I did manage to pass it. So that is Beachbone's single point of fate, but he's already on 2 wounds, remember. So that wasn't ideal. It led me on to, in the next turn, really, really dealing with this. I managed to low roll again, but fortunately,
OT rolled even lower.
Yeah, fortunately, it wasn't that. Right, so next turn, apparently, this is dreadful. I'm watching this back going like, I thought I filmed so much more. I'm almost wondering whether we lost a video, because I thought I filmed like a whole extra bit, but apparently not. I decided that 1 Ents clearly was not enough to kill Thror.
So just this epic.
So we've got 2 Ents. Now, OT very cleverly charged Quick Beam to split the combat. So I had priority, so I then chose Quick Beam's combat first. Then barged that dwarf away, and then moved into Thror, who I was already in base contact with.
Yeah.
So I was like, you are not escaping this. Thror is going down. So we have the mighty Thror versus 2 Ents.
Yeah.
1 Ent just fucking low rolled again. A 1, a 2, and a 3. I believe that was Beachbone. However, Quick Beam got the 6. Hallelujah. And I rendered.
Yeah.
And I was
this was my big fear throughout this game was you're paying a big premium for Thror with that D9, but when Ents are just effectively wounding him as if he was fucking defense 4, it's brutal.
I got 2 wounds from Quick Beam, 2 wounds from Beachbone, and I used one of Beachbone's might to get 5 wounds. I was like, I am bringing this guy down. This is worth BP.
Yeah.
I'm taking him down.
Yeah.
You rolled a 6 for the first fate, and then you rolled
a 1.
A
Yeah, because I'd saved a might, and I was like, I'm willing. Of course, I'm going to burn this at this point to keep him alive. But yeah, I was just basically hoping for some bullshit high roll at this point because he was really on the ropes.
Yeah. So that was Thror dealt with.
Yeah.
Thror's dead. Gone. And this is, I think, the big turning point in the battle. I still had 4 might left on the board.
You did.
You had none, and I still had some big scary monsters left on the board. And
I just had a shitload of dudes.
You just had a load of dudes scattered around. As we can see, though, objective-wise, you are in control of 3 objectives.
Yeah.
At this point, I started to move my guys out. So Treebeard moves over to the objective on the left. My other 2 Ents move up to the objective up top.
So that's my home objective, if it's not clear from the video.
So we're into the kind of final turns now. Treebeard has moved over and grabbed this objective. He killed the 2 models over there. Beachbone and Quickbeam have moved on to the objective at the top. That hand-moving Beachbone, by the way, was not him moving. That was OT had knocked him, just to be clear, because some throw stones are hurled with deadly accuracy.
Yeah, the Ent shooting was
3 models killed with throw stones across 2 turns from just 2 Ents, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Final turn. At this point, we were running out of time.
In a major way.
If you're wondering why OT is just hard rolling courage, like it's a tournament, we were needing to leave in like 10 minutes. Let's watch OT roll courage checks.
Yes, let's.
Fail. So there's a Dale gone. Oh, another warrior of Dale gone. Another warrior of Dale gone. This one. Oh, he sticks around. This one Dale warrior sticks there.
Yeah.
Now, this warrior, he makes it.
So proud.
So proud.
Yeah. The irony was, of course, the Ents were causing terror as well. So there were multiple courage checks needing to be done.
What
every time I did
anything is, we can currently see, you end up moving these 3 warriors of Dale, who all managed to pass their courage check, which ended up being very important.
Very, very important.
You managed to get them all to just within 3 inches of that objective. So they haven't charged, but they are all within 3 of Beachbone up there. Unfortunately, though, these 2 on this objective on the right, which is where I had managed to... So you had put 5 models on each objective initially. I had managed to pick off 3. There were 2 left. 1 flees. And the other flees as well.
Yeah. A hefty oof.
It was a hefty oof. The dwarfs at the back continue to flee. Just dreadful rolling. Really
it was absolutely atrocious.
You made a bold decision to move that dwarf forward there. I was quickly like, maybe move one back. You can never be too careful. There is that objective back on my end, isn't there? So what it all comes down to then is Treebeard charges this dude. This was more just to stop you shooting him and getting leader kills than anything.
Made sense.
Kills him. We already knew this was the last game of the battle because you were quartered now. It wasn't just that we needed to leave. And then it all came down to this. Quickbeam is fighting 1, Beachbone is fighting 2. We were playing very, very quickly here. I had got into this thinking, if I win, I will just barge them away because I just need them out of 3 inches, and barge is a 3-inch move. And then Quickbeam can join into another combat. In the heat of the moment, I changed my mind and just rolled my 3 dice to kill him. I kill him. This lost me the game.
Arguably.
Beachbone then low rolls, and 2 of your guys are left there. And so we had equal numbers on that back objective. And so what ended up happening for breakthrough points, you had control of my home objective. I had control of the middle objective. You had broke and lost your leader. My leader was wounded, which resulted in a 5-all draw.
Oof.
So that is how that game ends. And here's a lovely image of all of the models that I lost. And here's a lovely video of all the models I lost. Right, we hope you enjoyed that slightly worse battle report than normal.
You're welcome.
It definitely was not filmed up to the high standards that Mayor's been filming. We will definitely improve.
We'll definitely try.
Yeah, we'll definitely try. We really had to rush this, and we're not filming in quite as ideal conditions as Mayor usually is. But we thought it was a good enough report that a good enough battle.
We wouldn't just throw it in the bin.
we wouldn't just discard the footage. We'd try something with it. So yeah, hopefully that's edited something. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back with more. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, please drop us a like and subscribe. It really helps. And we will catch you later.